Hello and welcome to Dice Jesters. My name is Julie.
And my name is Dave.
And today, Dave and I will be embarking on our 10 by 10 list. Yeah. I guess it's like a ranking. It's not a rating. What we do at the end of our 10 by 10 challenges, so after playing 10 games, we like to do a ranking of those 10 games in order where we say our least favorite of the games to our most favorite. But least favorite doesn't mean it's our least favorite game. It was just our least favorite game out of the list that we recently played.
Yeah, and
so,
on the flip side, a game that's number one doesn't mean it's our favorite game. It just was the best game on this list.
Right. You might find out our favorite game, I don't know, like at the end of the year, maybe?
We should do like an annual top 10 of the year. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, that would be kind of cool, of like what we return to and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before we get into the ranking and everything, I'm just really curious. This is our third 10 by 10 challenge.
Yes.
I don't know that you can call yourself a new gamer anymore. That's a lot of games to have played by this point. How do you feel like you've evolved as a gamer from the time we played Azul, our season 1 first game on our 10 by 10 list, to Beyond the Sun, the last game on our third 10 by 10?
How do I feel? How I've evolved?
Yeah, talk to me about your preferences, your perspective of the hobby, everything. And that.
I don't know.
Where are you at today?
Questions.
Oh, there's always questions.
Well, I didn't know I was going to get this detailed in questions. So, David, let's see. When I first started board games, when you told me that you were into board games, I laughed. I was like, ha ha ha, so funny.
That surprised me, honestly.
Did it really?
Yeah, you seemed like you'd be a board gamer.
You're calling me a nerd.
Are you calling me a nerd?
Are you calling me a nerd?
You said you were making fun of me for playing board games.
Well, I wasn't making fun of you for playing board games. I was just confused. You know what?
At least I called them board games and not game boards.
That's right. I was calling them game boards for a long time. For
an abnormally long time.
Okay, but I didn't say Oregon until I moved to Oregon.
That's true. It
was always Oregon. You know what? Anyone who's listening, please answer this question for me. Is it Oregon or Oregon? No,
it doesn't matter. I'm from here.
It doesn't matter if you're from here. I just need to know what other states call it. So if you could like drop it in the comments and say, I don't know, put like a O-N or an E-N, or I don't know, you could say like Dave. You know what? We'll make a pool. We'll make a pool.
So outside in my travels outside of the West. So
yes.
Once you get, I would say, east of maybe Montana. That's where it starts getting into Oregon territory. I was saying Oregon. Are you from Oregon? I remember one time I was checking into a hotel in Boston and I was like, they're like, oh, you're from Oregon? I was like, yeah, I'm from Oregon. And they're like, oh, how is it in Oregon? I'm like, I literally just corrected you. I said it the correct way. Why are you?
Hey, I don't like when people correct me like that, okay? I was like, oh, can I get the Pinot Gris? Because I was like half asleep and she's like, the Pinot Gris. I'm like, you know what, just give me the wine, okay?
I've never heard somebody call it Pinot Gris before.
It has Riz as the
Pinot Gris got Riz.
Okay, but no, sincerely. We are going to make a pool, and if you don't know how to make a pool, I'm going to show you how to make the pool. So go to our pool and pick if you say Oregon or Oregon. So I'll put big O-N for Oregon, and I'll put E-N, even though I understand that's not how you spell it, for Oregon. So I want to know, how do you pronounce Oregon if you're not from Oregon?
Well, now hopefully anybody listening pronounces it Oregon because maybe they just didn't know the correct way.
Well, it doesn't even matter. I want to know their raw thoughts, not their corrected thoughts. Just like game boards. So I said game boards forever. There was lots of words I said wrong. I can't even remember, to be honest. I just know there was lots of things I said incorrectly. And I evolved so much from saying I like the art or oh, it's cute. Now I don't look at the art. I look at the components. Yeah. So
do you still feel like, because in the beginning I thought, it seemed to me like a lot of your preferences stemmed from games that you played growing up, like chess and Yu-Gi-Oh! And games of that sort. Do you still feel like your love for those games growing up affects the types of games that you enjoy? Or do you feel like at this point your preference is more based off of the games that you've recently played compared to before?
Well, if you look at those games, so Yu-Gi-Oh! And chess are very competitive games. They're very head-on with your opponent, you know? You're literally, for chess, you're trying to check the other person, checkmate them. For Yu-Gi-Oh! You're trying to send all their cards to the Shadow Realm.
The Shadow Realm.
You're trying to do all these things. So I do think, due to playing a majority of competitive games, I was in competitive basketball too, so I lean towards games now that are competitive. when it's not competitive, I tend to be bored a bit.
You get really bored.
Yeah, I get really bored, and then I rush the game. I'm just like, I'm done. But then I still win somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a game where you're not having to watch what I'm doing or care what I'm doing, you're usually not interested.
Mm-hmm. Because I guess when I personally think of a game, I think of, oh, you're playing with somebody else. So you...
Yeah, head to head.
Yeah. But
Battle of the Wits.
that's also to say that when I was growing up playing video games, I always liked Pokemon or the Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game version. I liked those battle games. It wasn't until...
Like Mortal Kombat and stuff?
Oh, I loved Mortal Kombat. I knew some
Super Smash Bros.
Oh, I dominate in Super Smash Bros.
I believe it.
I know some moves that people are like, how did you do that? I'm like, don't worry about it. Anyway, I grew up playing those, like Mario Kart, the Wii Sports, and it wasn't until COVID hit where I played something like Animal Crossing, where I simply played a game to relax,
Oh, right.
But it was also because, I don't know, it was just a different time, and I wanted to not be stressed about work, and I kind of wanted to escape into a new reality, so I had built a cool architect structure in my Animal Crossing, put a museum on a hill, filled it.
That sounds so chill.
I know, right?
Would you ever want to find a game that created that relaxing environment?
Well, see, so when it comes to playing with you, I just want to win. And I think it's because you started my journey with saying that you had played board games for a while. That automatically brought my competitive side out because I don't know. I just...
You have to win.
I have to win.
You have to be the best.
It's my upbringing, okay? We found that out recently that I have the job I have because I felt like I had something to prove. But now I'm like, who am I proving what to? You're like, wow, board games are deep.
Yeah. Well, you brought out a very competitive side of me. I knew I was competitive, but now I know I'm fiercely competitive. But not to a point where I'm like getting angry at you or like... There have been a couple times where you've pushed that boundary a little bit. Like, oh, I was planning 17 moves to do this one thing, and you came and took it all from me.
Well, that's why you can't just plan around one thing.
Yeah, that was my fault. In retrospect. But am I mad at you or am I mad at myself?
You're mad at yourself.
I'm a little bit mad at myself,
yes.
Yeah.
There was only one game that I remember that I was just over it, and I was so mad at you, and that was Jekyll versus Hyde.
Oh, I kept winning? And you were like, these sides are imbalanced. I'm like, okay, let's switch.
And then
I
still
won. Yeah, you're like, it's all luck. I'm like, okay, let's play 3 more times. I'll play both sides. I'll win every time. We did trade that one away.
Yeah, that
one made you a little angry.
Thrown out the window.
Not thrown, but you know.
It didn't get thrown out the window. It was traded away peacefully.
That bust piece was really cool. Remember that?
It was.
Hefty.
That would do some damage if you threw it out the window. But it's been literally a journey.
100 games.
Over
Each
100
10 by 10.
games. Oh, yeah. So what is that? 300,
300 plays. Well, we've played more plays on top of that because we did in between games, random things.
Yeah, we had a whole
board
Halloween
game meetups.
Season.
Yeah. I'd be curious how many plays
That was my favorite
we've done.
season.
Oh, when we did the Halloween games
we did
last
the Halloween
year?
specials. I made a pumpkin jester.
Yeah, that's when we did Whirling Witchcraft, Dracula versus Van Helsing,
Yeah.
Prolia, all those.
Yes.
Goodies.
There was the Bloody Inn.
Oh, the Bloody Inn.
I really liked
play
that one, yeah.
And then Parade.
I love Parade.
Parade might hit your like top 5 of all time.
It
honestly.
might be. And I don't know if it's because
really
it's like
like it.
Alice in Wonderland themed or if it's just a game. It could
Honestly,
really be
it's
Alice in
a
Wonderland
solid
themed.
game.
But how many games do we play?
So against you, like you as an opponent on this app, you have 627 logged plays against me.
Ooh, do we party at 1,000?
We do.
We do.
We can party with more board games. And you've learned a total and played a total of 69 games. That's... I don't know if you
so do we
consider
party at 100?
Party at 100? Oh, we should do a 100 by 100 challenge.
Oh my
Play
gosh.
100 games at least 100 times. That would be nuts.
Your optimism is admirable.
Where does it end? What's the limit that one person can realistically do within the span of a year? I don't know.
I mean, that can always be a season. We could see how many games we could play in a season.
Oh, like how many plays? Like we pick 10 games and play them as many times as we possibly can.
No, like maybe we say within, I don't know, the first half of the year, 6 months, how many games can we play in 6 months or something?
But see, then you get into the territory of, oh, we're just going to play quick card games. Are they big strategic games?
Well,
but it would balance out over the span of like several, like, yeah, there'd be some like light ones in there. But
maybe we keep it to just our shelf then. Well, we could discuss this.
Yeah. I think you're onto something. This is interesting.
Yeah. Anywho, let's get into our ranking of our Season 3 10x10. And that season has included Lost Ruins of Arnak, and then, I don't remember the precise order, but Boonlake, Cooper Island, Underwater Cities, Bora Bora, The Voyages of Marco Polo, Aquasphere, Race for the Galaxy, Pulsar 2849, and Beyond the Sun.
Nice.
Did I get all of them?
You did. Not in the exact order, but they were all there.
It was close. So, Dave, what was your number 10 game?
Okay, this is so fascinating because this is the one out of all of the games on the list I probably maybe had the highest hopes because I wanted to play it for so long. From the moment I heard about it, it was Pulsar 2849.
Mine too!
And I was surprised. I was like, this is the last one on my list because there are ones that I felt like we had slightly worse experiences playing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we still got through all 10 of these plays in a reasonable amount. Like, because some of the games on here, I feel like took us a little bit longer because we were dragging,
sure.
like felt like a lot of work to get through them. But this one, within like maybe a week or so, we got them all. So it surprised me. I knew that I had issues with the game, but I didn't know it would be last on the list. And I don't know if it makes me sad, but maybe it's my expectations were too high. It was a matter of expectation management, so...
My expectations were really high for this one just based off of the hype around it.
Yeah.
And the hype that you had led me on to the perceive. But I would say this was the biggest letdown for me and the biggest disappointment. And I don't know. Honestly, I think it's just that between the round stuff. It's the upkeep of the game.
Yeah.
Because I like to move at a really fast pace. And having to pause to make sure we don't miss anything really delayed my thought process. It would make me basically lose track of what I was supposed to do.
It was distracting. It would take you out of the experience of you're trying to plan ahead and then you have to remove yourself from that to do all the upkeep and stuff. And I think at first glance, I'm like, oh, it's a dice drafting game. There's multiple things to do. It'll feel like a Stefan Feld type point salad experience. And it just was a slog. But I agree with you on what you were saying. And I think if it could find a way to remove that administrative housekeeping aspect that's constantly in your face, and also some kind of way to create ongoing abilities that you unlock by hitting achievements, I think that would skyrocket this game in its enjoyable factor for me.
I feel like getting a Pulsar should be more eventful.
Yeah, it should give you some kind of bonus, not just, I flipped it over. Anytime something just gives me ongoing points, it doesn't feel that exciting to me.
Yeah.
I know you're like moving up the track and stuff, but I'm like, I want to feel like by building that now I'm better at doing something else. So because you play as corporations trying to develop these Pulsar technologies and developing more Pulsars, but my corporation doesn't feel like it's growing.
It would be cool if you went to a Pulsar and then you unlocked it and you needed to unlock certain ones prior to unlocking others so that it forced you around the board. Because technically, when you played, you really stayed away from the board. I was more board heavy, like traveling the constellations and whatnot, and you were more of the program heavy or the technology heavy. Yeah. And although you and I played different styles, our points were 4 to 5 points away from one another. I feel for this game being called Pulsar 2849 that you should be forced to somehow collect Pulsars.
Yeah, no, I agree. It would be cool too if there were aspects of the board where when you unlocked a Pulsar, you built one, it would now, you could use it as a portal to go to a different spot on the board that you didn't have access to before. That'd be cool.
Yeah. And then my 9th game is Cooper Island.
Mine too.
And that is because, the idea of it was neat, but I didn't like that I really couldn't do anything to your island.
Yeah, it was I think this is the point in our board gaming journey where we really realized how important player interaction is to us. Mm-hmm. Because this is one where we both felt, we're sitting at a table together, but it doesn't feel like we're engaged with each other. We're just building our island and we're doing a joint activity rather than playing a game. Yeah.
It's like Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if there's like an Animal Crossing with a little bit more interaction. You're like, oh, Dave, that sounds like Agricola because you're building a farm. But like, no, something that feels a little bit more relaxing. Maybe Caverna. That's another Uwe Rosenberg game that's like Agricola, but not as tight on like needing to feed your people, and it lets you explore different strategies and stuff.
Beer and bread's relaxing.
It's pretty chill.
Yeah, just making beer and bread.
Baking bread, brewing beer.
Bread, beer and
you can never
beer.
quite say that well. Yeah.
So then was your 8th one Boonlake as well?
It was.
Yeah, mine
so
too.
So we're in the same order.
So it was Boonlake just because I felt like it wasn't as restrictive. And I prefer restrictive games. That's just a preference thing.
Agreed. I liked it more than Cooper Island and Pulsar 2849 because there are parts of the game that I really like. The nature of the action selection, which has by far one of my favorite action selection systems that exists, and that's like where you get to choose something. Everybody gets to do that action, but you get to do it a little bit better. And I love that the tiles you selected, and it also dictates how far down the river you go. That gives you bonuses. You're putting stuff out. And then I really like the scoring objectives because there are 4 rounds in the game, and at 4 different points in the game you have to score each one. So it's a matter of when do you want to do each one. Do you want to wait and see if you can get a lot of points in one? Do you just get this one out of the way because it's harder to do? And so I thought that was really cool. But after 2 or 3 rounds, the fact that we both cleared our board, we felt like by the end of the game we'd already done everything that we wanted to do, and it didn't feel like that tenseness that I think we enjoy as the game comes to an end, like, oh, who's going to end it first? Or I just need one more turn, and oh man, the game ended, I didn't quite get there. I always liked that feeling, and it didn't quite give it to me.
Yeah. So then is your next one Lost Ruins of Arnak?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, okay.
How are we like, I feel like after these first 4, that's where we're going to start to differ.
I think so too.
I had a feeling that
6.
we'd be about the same. But I also had high hopes for this one too because of the theme.
Yes.
Because of the worker placement, deck building. Had a lot of things that we would enjoy.
I do think this is the perfect game for beginners who want to get into heavier games because it has aspects of heavy games, but it isn't as difficult, I guess, or as long. I don't know how to explain it. It isn't as tedious. You know, the rules are pretty easy to understand and follow.
Yeah.
Collecting resources is very straightforward, and then your action makes sense. You can do this, you can discover, and or you can go up moving your magnifying glass or your book.
Up the research track.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's very, here it is, and then it's fun, it's colorful, it's engaging. So that's why I liked it, because now if someone says, no, I want to play a heavier game, but I've never played a heavy game before, I would start them with that.
That is a good next step, like after you play some of those introductory ones. Yeah, I love like the artwork too. It is a very good game, but playing the game 10 times, it kind of uncovered the fact that it felt a little samey in terms of the experience. There aren't that many different strategies you can explore. Like you even try to go for like the heavy
research.
Well, the research, but also the guardians, like overcoming the guardians.
That's right.
And stuff.
I got like so many guardians once, and you still had the same score as me.
Well, the research track, I feel like you can't ignore it. You have to move up almost to the top in order to win the game. So that's where I'm like, my style, whenever there's a game where I can buy cards and deck build and do cool things like that, I always want to do that. But just buying cards in this game isn't that helpful because you don't actually use that many of your cards where you get to keep cycling through your deck. It's like maybe a couple times in the game. So
yeah, that's very true.
I did really like the expedition leaders, trying the different leaders in the game too. The hawk was cool. I like the monkey. The one with the gear was my favorite. No, sorry, that was in the second expansion. There were 2. There was the leaders and then the missing
leader.
expedition.
You like the guy that I can't... Isn't he just the leader?
Oh, the one that gave you the extra meeple was cool.
The
and then the one with was it the snacks?
Oh, yes. I think it was like the scout or something.
Yeah. There were a couple that I didn't like, but for the most part, they were all pretty cool.
I liked the wizard. Because he gave you, like, curses or something.
Oh, that one was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, but I understood it. So.
You did. Yeah, you still did good. Let me guess your next one.
Okay.
I have a feeling it's going to be Race for the Galaxy.
It is Race for the Galaxy.
I had a feeling. That one is going to rise the more you play it, but it's a lot higher on my list, I can tell you that.
Oh, I figured. It was a learning curve. I described it as writing with my left hand, where I know what I'm supposed to do, but it just feels weird. So that game, I understood what was expected, how to play it, but I didn't understand how to play it.
After 10 games, you've just learned how to play it.
Right.
Like, you don't know how to play it competitively.
Okay, well, you also have, like, hundreds of rounds of it.
For sure.
I played it digitally, so if we were starting at the same time and you only also played it 10 times, I'm sure I would have won.
Definitely not.
It's okay. It's okay.
You're good.
No, you're fine.
That's an awesome game.
What's your 6th? Let me guess.
Yeah.
Bora Bora.
Okay, I would say the next 3 games on my list were all interchangeable. It was tough to rank these, but my next one is actually Aquasphere.
What? Is it because you just got annihilated?
Okay, so this is where the list breaks up, because the first 4, Pulsar, Cooper Island, Boonlake, and Lost Ruins of Arnak, were all kind of like lower tier for us. But the difference between how much I liked Lost Ruins of Arnak to Aquasphere is a pretty massive jump, because I still really like this game a lot, and every game from here on out are ones that I really, really liked. But there's nothing I don't like about the game. It's just, I did get annihilated. I couldn't quite find my groove where I felt like I could be proficient at the game. I need to play it some more. And it would be cool to play it with, I think, 3 or 4 players to see what that experience was like.
You're like, I need somebody to knock you back down.
Yeah. This is one that this game made me feel angry.
Oh yeah, you're so angry.
Every single time I would think I was doing well, but you would somehow complete your research lab, get all those points, and meanwhile I'm trying to find a way to collect crystals, to get the octopods and all that. And I also really wanted to get the research cards that would give me the ongoing bonuses, but then I could never quite use them in the right way, because they would say every time you do this action, you can do this, but it never made quite sense on that engineering track for me to use that action. Oh man, this game has so much planning. Yeah, I'm getting kind of excited talking about it. I'm like, I feel bad for it being lower on my list, but I still like it a lot.
I liked it because every time you tried to run from me and be safe by yourself, I went pew, 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 just knocked you.
You love knocking my bots off the thing. And,
that was so fun to me. I like chasing you.
Yeah, you were always getting in my way. I'm like, get out of here. This is my section of the Aquasphere. Number 5, Voyages of Marco Polo.
No,
Bora Bora.
Underwater cities.
Whoa.
Because remember, I started off not liking underwater cities. I didn't feel one direction or the other.
Yeah.
Strongly, I guess. And then once I understood it, I was like, oh, okay, this isn't that bad. But I don't know. It still feels weird because I guess there's aspects of it that I feel I could have done differently. And maybe after more than 10 plays, then it would have been okay. I don't know. There's something left there.
Yeah, I feel Underwater Cities is higher on my list. I'll say that.
I feel... Didn't I win Underwater Cities, though?
No, I won.
We tied? Oh, you won?
Yeah, I won by 1. I can look. Let's see.
I mean, I believe you.
So I haven't mentioned this. I'll just list out so far the ones that we've already talked about. So we talked about Pulsar 2849. We tied on that one. Then we talked about Cooper Island. You won that one. Boonlake. You won that one. Lost Ruins of Arnak was a tie without going into the expansion. So just 10 plays. It was 5-5. And then we talked about Aquasphere. You won by a landslide. Race for the Galaxy, I won by a landslide. And then, now we're in Underwater Cities, so I won 5, you won 4, and then there was a tie. So I won more games than you did.
Okay. Well, yeah. What is your 5th one still?
My number 5 was Bora Bora.
Is it because you also lost?
I also lost this one too. You won this 10 by 10. I'll just say. So you won 5, I won 2, and we tied 3. So when you look at how many we tied too, like, we were pretty close on some of these. On the ties, had I won one more game, we would have been 5-5. But those 3 games, you just So Bora Bora. Again, I really enjoyed, and it's weird for me to have my Stefan Feld games be in the middle of any list, because usually they're at the very top. And I love the competitive nature of this game, with trying to knock each other off the spots on the islands.
Yes.
Trying to compete, like place a low value die on a place that you know your opponent needs so that you can take it and they can't place their dice there. I love the priest track, battling to have more than the other person on there. And then the scoring objectives. So at the end of each round, trying to at least meet one of your scoring objectives was really challenging. So this game was just, I would say, very challenging to me, because it had a lot of distractions and I couldn't ever quite get good at it, but I still really enjoyed it.
Yes, I liked being dominant over the islands.
You certainly did. Are we on number 4 now?
Yeah, so number 4 is the Voyages of Marco Polo. It was okay.
Okay.
You're like, number 4 and it was okay? Well, I mean, there was...
It's the Beijing.
Yes!
The Beijing ability. That
You made me so angry.
I did. This is one we have to replay.
Yeah, and Beijing is not going to be an option for your starting power or whatever it is.
I'll still beat you.
But you didn't, though. I beat you in the Voyages of Marco Polo. You're like, what are you doing with your hand?
Yeah, what's happening right now?
But I beat you in it. You just won the last 2 games because of Beijing.
Okay. What was your favorite part about the game?
I am unsure. I just know that I enjoyed it a little bit more than the rest. Maybe because it was made in a restrictive way for you, but I found a way to get around the restriction. Because you needed money and everything to move and to travel, and then some would require extra resources like camels, you know? On top of needing a certain dice number as well as the coins to match that dice number. So it took 3 separate resources at variety amounts. And you struggled with it. And I think that's why I found joy in it.
It was a very restrictive game because you need resources to do anything. And it can be really hard to get those resources.
Yeah.
Because you have to spend your dice accordingly. And if you want like a lot of gold, you have to spend 3 dice, but you only have 5 to spend. So you got to find ways to get things and other creative means to be able to travel around the board, which is really expensive. Get your trading posts out and stuff. But yeah, that game is just a little bit higher on my list.
It was like real life.
Yeah.
Having to have money and resources to
travel.
travel.
It was a real life simulation. Not like relaxing Animal Crossing, but real life working a 40-hour-a-week job or something.
To go on vacation for like a few days.
Yeah, exactly. My number 4 was Beyond the Sun.
Is it because you lost?
Not necessarily, because I've been thinking about this game since we stopped playing it. So obviously I liked it quite a bit for it to be number 4. But the thing that stands out to me is that I wish that in the base game you could use all 4 factions with 2 players, but you can only use 3. And then the fact that the factions themselves, the abilities, maybe it's just because I didn't get good enough at the game where I could use those, but I never found them that helpful. And then in terms of the technologies, the different colors, I don't know if it's just my thinking or I could never quite figure it out, but it didn't feel like the technologies were clearly delineated where I'm like, oh, blue is good at this, yellow is good at that, green is good at that. Because I love games where you can like really specialize in doing one certain thing. And I feel like this game, everything's so... There aren't that many things that you can do. So it didn't feel like you really needed to specialize in different areas because ultimately you're just flying around, colonizing systems, getting ore, production, building tech, and everything. Yeah. But I still really enjoyed it. But I wish, again, maybe with an expansion or something, having more abilities would really make this game higher in terms of my favorite games. But that was my take.
That's true. That one was my 3rd game, and it's because similar reasons. I didn't really understand the player powers, or they just didn't seem as helpful to me. And when I was moving up the org chart thing, I would pick a color intentionally, thinking that it would give me something that would be helpful per the little cheat sheet that you get that labels what the colors do and what you could potentially get from them. And I felt every time I grabbed said color thinking it would give me something, it was slightly off. So.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, and that's why it's my 3rd.
I thought for some reason it was going to be like your number 1.
I know you
really
did.
like this game a lot.
Not quite. Not as much as number 1.
My number 3 was Voyages of Marco Polo, which we just talked about, but I like this game a lot. With the player powers were really fun to play. There's something about it that feels like familiar. It has like that midweight Euro resource management, dice placement stuff that I really like. So
does that mean your number 2 is Race for the Galaxy?
It is Race for the Galaxy.
Yes.
This was tough. Like my top 3 or so were very, very tough to rank against each other. And I think it comes down to, if I were to play, so many plays of this game, it might start to feel, I don't know about samey, but so Race for the Galaxy is one of these games that I get into periodically in my gaming life, where I'll play it a bunch and then I'll kind of get a little bit like, okay, I'm cool on it for a bit, and then I'll stop playing it and then I'll come back to it like, oh yes, this is an amazing game. But it's never one that consistently I just want to play every single time all the time. But I still think it is one of the best games I've ever played of all time, like the best game designs, and just in terms of what can be done with the deck of cards. I love the strategies that you can explore. I love whether you're going for the victory point chips or you're just trying to race to get the cards out, get cool combos, use the 6-point cards and try to gather a lot of points that way. And the simultaneous nature too. It's so quick because you both choose actions at the same time and you both execute the actions simultaneously. So there's no downtime or waiting for anybody's turn in this game. It's just you just go and then you're done. I love it.
True. Mine's Bora Bora because I knocked you off my island.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you're good at it.
Yeah, so then when you picked some of the lady tiles, I was like, why are you picking that one?
I'm like, I have to because
I'm like, you don't have to do
objectives.
nothing. You don't have to get that scoring objective.
I remember making the jokes in this game and I'm like, oh man, I need 3 women in order to meet women.
And I'm like, you don't need 3 women. You have one great one.
Yeah, one amazing one. The best in all of the universe and all of the timelines of existence. All that.
Yeah, and you weren't paid to say that.
I was not. I'm not threatened in any way. My safety is impeccable. So.
It is pretty... You're very safe in my hands.
Yeah. It seemed like an odd thing to add.
So anyways, yeah, my number 1 is Aquasphere because I knocked you into the middle. I don't know, I just like that head-to-head knocking your pieces.
You love this game.
Yeah, I do love the game because I just chased you. You would always try to run away from me. I'm like, where are you going? And then because you were so worried about me chasing you, you didn't realize that I was getting all of these little extra points over here when I was making the full alphabet.
What's funny is even when you love a game as much as you do Aquasphere, you don't really like show your excitement. You're like you're very focused. You play like we get to the end of it and you're like, that was my favorite game of all time. I'm like, what? Like you weren't like ready. Like when I play a game that's awesome, I'm like, oh man, this game is sick. Like I love this game. This is so cool. And I keep talking about it and like I'm super excited. But yours is all contained within.
You know what's really funny? Is that I was talking to my coworkers about how I like food or whatnot, because I think they had asked me if I like something, and then I just went, you know, Dave, he always wonders if I like something, and now he just I'll be quiet, but I'll start swaying back and forth.
Yeah, you have little dances that you do.
You're like, oh, good, she likes it.
Usually the faster you eat, the worse
the worse it is.
Yeah,
yes.
And whatever you eat first, you like the least.
Yes! Well, don't say that too loud. Some people's food, some people's food, they might be listening.
Just kidding. The first is always, everything's equal.
Everything's great.
Yeah. But you also eat in like a clockwise pattern too, don't you?
Do I?
Or is that my dad?
That's your dad.
Yeah. I have weird people in my family.
I do eat worst part of the dish first. I save the best for last. Mm-hmm. And that's because, obviously, growing up, I had to eat my whole plate, even if I didn't make it. And if I didn't eat my plate, I would sit there. I remember the longest time I had sat there was until like 10 p.m.
Oh my god.
I'm not kidding. Because I didn't want to eat these peas, right? So then
Peas?
I don't like peas.
Peas are pretty cool.
I was like 7.
Oh yeah, but at that age, it's disgusting.
Peas taste gross. So, yeah. And now I don't show faces. Well, I don't show faces either because I remember I had made, like, a disgust face and I got in trouble. I think it was over the peas, too.
The only time I got in trouble at the dinner table was one time I brought a whoopee cushion to the dinner table and I got sent to my room.
I love it.
I thought it was worth it. It was worth the timeout because...
Oh, you just got a timeout.
During that show, what kind of childhood you had? You got to eat for the next week? Yeah.
You got to keep the whoopee cushion?
Yeah, you got to sleep in your bed. You get set outside.
Right. But yes, so I think it's the same for anything. Anytime there's excitement involved, it's difficult to tell. But I guess you can tell by my body movements or by my habits if you watch closely enough. So
I'm always watching.
I guess this is your journey, Dave, is to find out if I like a game before I say it.
There's like a whole air about you when you don't like a game. I can tell how much you like a game by how closely you pay attention to the final scoring. Like, when you're, like, going through line by line, auditing everything that I did. If you don't like a game, you're like, cool, yeah, alright, yeah, whatever.
Oh,
so,
sure,
yeah,
sure.
You just don't really care. You're like, I won, nice. Like
Yes.
there have been a few of those. But my number 1 is Underwater Cities. I would say this is the most extreme from how I started enjoying the game to where it ended up.
That's true.
It started very lukewarm. If you were like, hey, I want to quit this game, I probably would have agreed at that point after 2 plays. But the more I played it, I was like, oh man, this is awesome. With the different card combinations, and you get like the special production bonuses, you're building stuff, you're building an engine, you get those special cards that give you the end game scoring. I love the fact that you have the hand of cards, you do an action, if it matches, you get both bonuses. If they don't match, you just get the action spot. So there's this whole like, oh man, I really need to do this, but I don't have the right color. Do I want to waste an action and not use both bonuses? And then ramping up over the game with the ongoing abilities that you can create, the action cards that you can tap to use their things. Oh man, there is so much awesome stuff going on in this game. Can't wait to play this. And I think there are a couple expansions out for it now. It'd be really cool to dive into.
Oh my god, dive back into the waters.
Oh, it was funny when you look at the list. So Pulsar 2849 and Underwater Cities were by the same designer. One was our least favorite and one was my favorite.
Oh, that is true.
Which is a pretty huge... I want to play more of his games, which you have some on our shelf.
Yeah.
So we'll have to give those a try.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, Dave.
That was a journey.
Season 3 has been the season of exploration. And it has now officially come to an end with our 10x10 ranking. It doesn't mean that we won't play the games again that are our Keep It to Play. It's just this specific season has now ended. So, thank you for joining us. And be sure to join us in Season 4 as we figure out what we're doing, whether that's see how many games we could play in 6 months, or if that is where we dissect games, find a broken strategy, or play it until, like, we just give up. I don't know.
Find a strategy that doesn't quite feel within the nature of the game.
Oh, like when I hit the dice in Sagrada? So be sure to join us for Season 4. We also want to give a big special thanks. We're not going to say their name specifically just because we didn't ask for if they wanted their name announced or not. But thank you to our new Patreon subscriber of our Jesters Gambit tier. We highly appreciate it. If you do want an open shout out of it, please feel free to message us either through Patreon or Instagram or whatever you're comfortable on if you want us to say your name for the next episode starting in Season 4. And you as the listener, if you want your name mentioned in any of our episodes, feel free to head on over to our Patreon and check it out. You can even join as a free member. We don't mind. Join the party, okay? So, on our Patreon, we are now going to add this segment called Lupin's Little Adventures. Dun dun dun! Because he has been going on quite the adventures as a small cat. I have been taking him outside more, so when I initially got him, I was harness training him and leash training him, and I don't know if he just really likes Oregon or what, but he has chilled out, and now he is a walking kitty. So he likes to play on the playground. Was he not
a walking cat before?
Not on a leash.
On a leash.
But yeah, he likes to go on the playground. He likes to be on the playground equipment. He likes to conquer statues.
He likes deer, too, we found out.
Oh, yeah, he loves deer, and he loves meeting all the outside cats.
Little furry critters.
Yeah. He's, I don't know, he's good. He's doing great, and we're going to take him on more adventures as long as he allows us. He's very vocal when he doesn't like something. So.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Like when I do his pate the wrong way.
Yes, when you do his pate the wrong way.
Oh, man. It wrecks everybody's lives. Yeah.
It's a bad time for everybody. But yeah, so that will be exclusive to our Patreon. Our Patreon is Dice Jesters. You can also join us on Instagram, kind of find out games that we play that we don't necessarily mention. And our Instagram is Dice Jesters. Or if you have any ideas for Season 4 that you would like to see or games you would like to see in Season 4, just because we're going to mix it up a little bit, feel free to email thedicejesters@gmail.com with your board game recommendations. And again, please go into the pool and tell us if you say Oregon or Oregon. So, Team Julie with the on, Team Dave with the in.
Wow.
And, as always, our dear friends, be sure to play board games with the ones you love.